Sweet and Sour. Germine Elwardany. Hello everybody and welcome to a new edition of Sweet and Sour. It's exactly 3 minutes past 5 in our studio. On we go until 6:45 this evening. And we have our guest this evening, Miss Rania Youssef, life coach. Hello Miss Rania, how are you doing?
Hi Germine, how are you doing?
So hopefully that we're gonna have a very interesting episode this evening, talking about something that is really maybe I won't say bothering everybody, but we're all thinking the same way. That we're always have this feeling that we miss something in our life. So we'll be talking about that in detail. And as usual, we have a couple of clips to play for you. And of course, we can always receive your calls on 257-89407. Unfortunately, I don't know, I think we have access to Facebook page 95.4 FM. Say my name and welcome back to Sweet and Sour. On we go until 6:45 this evening. And Rania, once again, good evening to you and to everybody out there. Mm-hmm. So let me first see what you're doing. Like you said that you're a life coach. You already run a program, اتكلمي, or speak up if you wish. And usually you maybe discuss or deal with problems that females face.
Yes,
usually. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's mainly it all came up when I realized that I'm a sensitive, emotional girl, and I started to have some like problems due to being sensitive. That's why I started to read a lot about it, and I started to actually see people and have a lot of. I had a lot of coaching sessions to know how to fix. How to deal with me being a sensitive emotional girl.
So let's say that you try to conquer your own problem.
I don't see it now as a problem. It
is not, definitely.
Sometimes
a challenge maybe.
It is a kind of a challenge, and I learned how to handle it. And my wish or my call, as I want to be, is that to help others, emotional and sensitive girls,
very good
to handle this.
Yes, very kind out of you, definitely, and very supportive. And I'm sure that everybody that you coached before is quite happy, as I can read from your page, Rania Youssef اتكلمي. I can see the comments of people that you've already had coaching sessions with. So we will be talking in detail about a feeling that most of us have in life. That is, we always feel that even though like we're working, we're having a good life in terms of work, money, house, family, friends, and everything, but still you do feel that you're missing something very important in your life. Sometimes it's a bit nagging. Sometimes you can deal with it, so it depends. What it depends on definitely is different from one person to another. Let's maybe start here with we will be listening here to probably some opinions by people, like what they feel missing in life, but I think after this song, so let's listen to this upcoming track and then this interview.
I miss being a kid. I miss the carefree days.
I miss waking up in the morning and smelling my mom's chorizo and eggs. That's definitely what I miss most. It's always so nice waking up to that smell. It just reminds me of home.
Just being home. That's probably it, yeah. Been out here for a while now, shipping out, so miss home.
Well, next to my family, as my wife has just indicated, probably my dogs. I've had dogs my whole life, and they're the things you get attached to. And when you say goodbye, it's a tough thing to do, particularly because normally you're there with them.
I miss the small things. I used to play in a band. We weren't famous or anything, but we had a lot of fun. And having that back in my life wouldn't be so tragic. So
What do I miss? My mom. Yeah, that's what I miss because I'm really happy with my life and my family and everything in it. And if my mom was still part of it, it'd be really cool. So it's kind of a simple answer, but I think a lot of people can relate to that.
I feel like at a point in my life, I'm really tied down. I'm in the middle of nursing school and I feel like I sometimes hardly have a moment to breathe. What I miss most is traveling and not really knowing what I'm going to do next and not really wanting to plan what I do next.
The thing I miss most in life up to today is actually flying together with my wife Heike as a passenger in a sailplane. Yeah, we're sailplane pilots. But actually we have planned to go to Lake Elsinore Soaring Club and to go flying over there.
Actually, I just lost my Rottweiler that I had for 8 years. He got cancer. That's what I miss most.
Freedom, total freedom maybe. Like you get, everywhere you go you always get restrictions and stuff and you never can be really free in life. Like you have to pay taxes and stuff and shit like that, and I don't know, I think yeah, that's one thing I miss the most in life maybe.
Childhood friends, people I grew up with in middle school and high school. Everyone moved away, so it's hard to like keep in touch with everyone, so I miss that.
Communication. Seems like people don't communicate enough these days. You have to guess what they want, or you know, you just don't get enough information anymore from people. The phones, the electronic games, things like that. It's just people that feel like they don't want to talk, or they want to text you, or they want to, you know, FaceTime you instead of coming face to face, you know, to tell you. I like person to person.
Childlike sense of wonder.
Okay, can you explain that maybe?
Now everything's more rules and regulations, like I'm in the military. So like we look at things from like a logical point of view instead of looking at things with more imagination.
I'd probably say my grandma and grandpa. Both of them passed away recently, so yeah, probably them.
Well, I miss my people back in Africa, particularly my Biafran people who have been asking for their own country. They have been innocently asking for freedom.
Growing up with my family, because we used to have a lot more time together, and now we're all grown up and going our own directions. So kind of just seems like maybe part of you is missing.
Having fun. I work too much. And that's the truth.
Probably running track and field.
What do I miss most in life? More sunsets.
Probably my little brother.
Smells from my childhood. Like my grandma is baking some dinner, some meat dish, and it smells really good.
I miss my family and my best friends from back in my country. I haven't seen them for a few years now, so I really miss them. I want to go back home and visit them.
I don't know. I'm like pretty content moving forward in life. I don't know if I miss certain things because I feel like while losing some things that were like seem positive, I also gained more perspective. Like for instance, like the innocence of childhood is like a wonderful thing, but like at the same time, gaining a lot of knowledge and like maturing and growing has brought a lot of joy to my life. So I'd say I'm just looking forward and not really missing anything.
Stability. Does it have to be one word?
No, that's fine. Okay. You can explain it or you can leave it at that.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, what's your name?
Wing.
And where are you from?
London.
And what do you miss most in life?
Memories that I don't remember anymore.
Okay, welcome back. So that was lots of things missing in life. Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
So actually ranging from simply somebody's missing his dogs, like raising dogs. Maybe now he lives in a place where he cannot keep his pets. And this is something maybe that looks very trivial to people, but for someone that might be like the core of his happiness. You never know.
It's never
being away from but I mean for some people when you tell them like dogs, he's missing his dogs or cats or whatever, I mean pets in general, they do not really feel how important pets are sometimes for certain people, of course. Someone else said communication. She said that now there is a lack of communication because of electronic social media. People are so busy doing other things rather than communicate, and that might definitely create a hole in life. Like you feel that your life is empty because you're not really void. You're not really communicating with people face to face, talk, laugh together. Others said they are missing home. Either it is their home where they have been raised or their homeland if they are immigrants. Both are very heartbreaking, I would say. Some people live far away from their moms, their families, family members, which also makes them feel a stranger wherever they are. Homesickness, yes. Stability, somebody said, I miss stability in life, which definitely might cause lots of annoyance in your everyday life. If you don't feel stable, that's very, very annoying, definitely. Someone else said, I miss, and this is actually, I feel like everybody is having fun.
Yeah. We all miss having fun.
That's a very simple human right. But probably most of us are missing this in our everyday life, having fun.
Yes. My comment would be that all of these people, what they've done, what they're comparing themselves to their past self. I mean, for example, they have their mom, they lost their moms, for nowadays they
their
miss
families
their
where they were
their
children.
families, their children, their dogs. So they compare themselves to their past self, and that's why they miss things that they used to have. And if we analyze, if we see how what do all these things represent? If, for example, having a dog, what would it represent? If this guy who missed
memories.
Not only, I would say it's not only memories, but it would also be the value behind having a dog. What's the value behind the value behind having a dog is to the feeling of being important to the dog. For example, taking care of the dog. Is it having someone to care about, to feed, to have this kind of emotions and feelings and
emotional interaction.
Yes, there is this unconditional love between the dog and the person who owns the dog. For the value behind what is missing is the one that I would say those people would go for it and ask for it and try to replace it with something else. Missing, for example, communication. So what's the problem? Why are you not communicating with the people around you? So why don't you try to find other people who you can communicate with?
But it's not that easy, Rania.
Definitely.
Like if you're used to your old friends, let's call them old friends, your family members, people that you're quite acquainted with, it's so hard sometimes. You would be very lucky if you can find substitutes. I won't say substitutes, but I mean people who you can feel comfortable with at the same degree. You would be very lucky if you find that. But I mean, most of the times it's not that easy.
Definitely,
people will go on missing their old memories.
Life goes on, and there are things in life that we cannot control. Losing a mom or losing a dad, this is something that we cannot control. How are you going to replace something like this? It's never going to be replaced. So at least getting half the value out is much better than not getting it at all.
Maybe try to develop the emotions, but in a different way.
In a different way, and not to get stuck with the way I wanted this way. So if it didn't come this way, so it's neither or. No, let's say we'll have it, but in a different form.
Yes. That's good. But I mean, people have to work on themselves, but first they have to let's say admit it. First, you
the
need to
harder
admit
part.
it, and then you start working on it.
That's the harder part. Usually accepting it. Accept that you missed something, or that there is something that is missing in your life. It's not easy. It's not easy for everyone.
It takes time, which is okay. But after that, you have to be conscious of the situation and start working on it. Missing home because it's far away, it's also another problem.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, especially if it's so far away that like you have to spend a lot of money in order to like reach there, or you don't have that long of a vacation in order to spend a couple of days there. That would be very hard for some people, definitely, especially for immigrants, as this guy was saying.
I would say it's what do you zoom in on? I mean, there are things that if you're a camera and there are different aspects of your life, which area of your life that you're going to zoom in, and which area of your life that you're going to zoom out.
You want to say the present. You have to zoom in the present, zoom out the past.
Yes.
That's
zoom
logic.
Zoom in on what you already have.
Yeah, okay.
Because a lot of times we do just take things we already own for granted. This guy.
You know what, maybe sometimes you don't feel how good your present is unless you go a little bit further and then you look back. So we always want to, like look from, a distance.
Yes. Yes.
You cannot see it when you are inside.
You cannot see the full picture. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe we need to learn to like feel the pleasure of the moment. Not wait until it's over.
Yes.
Maybe that's what we need to work on. Okay, so definitely more clips are coming your way, and more to say about that, and we'll be more than happy to receive your calls on 257-89407 to tell us what you yourself miss in life, and if you manage it, to deal with it or not. And of course, we also have some interaction on Facebook page Radio Cairo 95.4 FM. Thank you guys very much. In a minute, we'll be mentioning that. So maybe music, Shallow, Lady Gaga, and we'll be back. Okay, that was Lady Gaga and Shallow. Lovely song.
It's very relevant what we're talking about. How they're tired trying to fill the void, and they're tired looking for change. I would say this is exactly what we're talking about. And looking for change here, looking for some kind of change, is one of the basic needs actually everybody wants to have.
Do people always are after change if they feel that their life is void? I mean, if you feel that your life is fulfilled, you're happy, you won't seek a change, I think.
Let me tell you something. There are 6 basic needs everyone would need, but it differs from one person to another. Let's say, for example, the security and safety is one of the basic needs. Then we have uncertainty. Although we seek security, I'd like to feel safe and secure around the people I know, around in my own home, in the work I work. I need to feel safe and secure.
Yes.
But at the same time, I need to have this kind of challenge that makes me want to
feel
excel.
you're alive.
Yes,
you're fighting for something.
Otherwise, we're gonna feel really bored. We're gonna look for change again.
Things will be so monotonous. So
it's both. Although we really look for security and safety, and we want to feel that kind of safe and secure in wherever we are. Again, we still need some kind of uncertainty. This kind of pain, I would say, that would give us the pleasure to work for it and to change and to excel and to go for the best wherever we can. The other needs, we mentioned security and uncertainty. We also need uniqueness. I need to feel that I am unique. I'm different. I'm a kind of special for some people. In some places. I also need love and connection with people around me.
You also need to feel special to some people.
Definitely.
Right.
Okay. The other 2 needs are growth and giving. So you need to grow. In all our lives, we just need to grow. We never want to stop at a certain point. Whenever, as you mentioned, whenever we stop, we never stop at a certain point. We will feel bored. We'll feel that life is boring, and we'll feel that something is missing. And then giving that you keep giving. You want to give to the people around you. You want to give even to pets. Like the guy who missed his own dog. We differ according to these 6 basic values. Some people would go for certainty more than uncertainty. They don't like challenges. They don't like surprises. Other people would go for giving more than growth, for example. Other people would go for uniqueness. I'd like to be unique. Whenever I am in a place, I'd like to be the center of attention. I'd like to be everybody to talk, the people around me talking about me, or I am talking about my experiences, my adventures.
To be the focus of a gathering or something.
As long as we're fulfilling all these basic needs, we won't, I guess, we won't feel that void in a way. We won't feel that something is missing.
Right,
in
you
a way.
are.
Yes.
Right, you are.
Who are the people around you who give you this kind of love and connection? Who are the people who make you feel special? Who are the people who you give to so that you feel that you're giving and you're adding something and you're of value to some people? So these basic needs are important, and as long as you know them, as long as you know which areas or which needs that represent you and what makes you different from one person to the other, and you know how to fulfill them, I think this would help you not to feel the void or not to feel that something is missing.
You are. So hopefully that people are lucky enough to have these 6 needs fulfilled, at least at a certain degree.
Depending on what they want, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I would never, for example, like these 6 basic needs with the same degree like you want.
Definitely.
Yes, as long as they are fulfilled. Yes.
That's why sometimes you see somebody and you say he should be or she should be so happy. You see that everything is there. But as you said, it depends on what is really fulfilling for him
me,
or her.
And that's what, yes,
exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
Very good. So on we go, music, and we'll be back with another interview by Simon Stanley. So stay tuned to that after Ariana Grande and Breathing. Okay, Ariana Grande and Breathing. What about now? We're listening to Simon Stanley talking about emptiness. You said that sometimes you feel quite void.
Yeah.
You feel that you're empty. Even though you're so busy doing lots of things at your work, you're having lots of people to talk with, but maybe they are not friends. They are not you don't have this type of an intimate or close relationship. You don't have something that is valuable, something like you have emotional interaction in your life, something that is fulfilling. As you were just mentioning a couple of minutes ago, that you might have everything, but it is not fulfilling because this is not exactly what you need, and this is a big problem in life, actually. So let's listen to Simon Stanley talking about emptiness, and we will come back to comments. So stay tuned always to 95.4 FM, and we have our guest this evening, Miss Rania Youssef, life coach and owner of this interesting program, اتكلمي. Let's keep it going until 6:45 this evening, and let's now listen to Simon Stanley.
Something's missing. In any area of your life, do you think there's something more to this? There's that voice deep down inside that's telling you, keep searching. There's something out there for you. But yet everyone around you isn't searching. They're content, or they seem like they're content in their lives. It looks like they've all got it figured out. And you're thinking to yourself, is it me? Am I the one going crazy here? Or is there more? Well, that's a very interesting question that you ask yourself. And I want to embolden you in one statement in this video of what you should do. Explore. I mean it, really explore. It may be difficult right now, but I'm telling you, my friend, that inner voice is there for a reason. It's guiding you on that path, and it's guiding you for that reason, and nobody else around you wants to listen to it because it's too freaking scary if they did follow it. Seriously. They would have to make changes that they don't want to make right now because it'd be too painful to get over to then reach that new bounty of reward that will be there for them potentially. So if you have that inner voice and you're verbally expressing it, or you're typing in videos on YouTube or whatever it may be to look for the answer of what this freaking inner voice is all about, or the sensation, just that sensation, do you know what I mean? That there's something more to life. It's there for a reason, I'm telling you. It's your higher power communicating with you. And you know what? These YouTube videos that I create for you, let's bring this back around to my example for a moment. Daily, these videos, or almost daily, are what my inner voice is telling me to create a video on. In fact, one of my good friends, Louis Doughty, I saw a post on Facebook about this, and I thought, wow, this is a great video topic. You know? Because there's so many people out there, I believe, that are searching for something and I'm not sure what. Now, what about in terms of actual strategy can you use to actually discover that and start feeling content again? Well, first of all, it's about discovering the human needs. Okay, if you look at if you research some Tony Robbins' work, I think it's the 6 human needs, it's really great to know those and know how you're wired. I know for me, I'm somebody that likes a level of certainty, as we all do, right? We want to know that the house isn't going to fall down or the roof isn't going to cave in, right? We want to know that we're safe, that we're certain. I have a certain level of requirement for that. You know, obviously I want to make sure the bills are paid every month. I want to make sure my business costs are paid every month. I want to make sure I'm making a profit most months at least, right? So that you can then continually reinvest for compounding growth. That kind of monetary stuff I want to make sure is covered. I want to make sure my health's in good check. I go to the gym. I want to make sure I'm eating decent foods, okay? By no means am I perfect. I could do a lot better with that. But still, that is a level of certainty that I have in my life. But I also know I can also be a bit of a lunatic, right? I can also be a bit of a lunatic when it comes to searching for adventure, okay? Give you an example. In the UK, right, this is where I am right now recording this video for you. I love being back here. You know, I love the people here, speaking to them, and, you know, it's my native home. But there's also a part of me that can't stand the cold. And I can't stand sometimes the fact that, you know, you can't go out without having like a million layers on, and nobody really goes out during the winter because it's freezing cold, and everyone's waiting for the summer. I don't like that. So inside there was something saying, Simon, there's something more. Why don't you explore? Why don't you go to different places? Why don't you try living in a different country? Why don't you try learning another language? But most people don't do that, do they? They want to stay rooted to the spot. They want to, you know, really commit themselves, or they call it commitment. But really, is it just them ignoring what their inner voice is telling them? Interesting one. So I went to go and live in Malaga in Spain for a while. Okay? I think it was 6 months at a time, more or less, for the last 3 years. Pretty cool, right? On and off. Yes, it's a rough guess, okay? 6 months or less every single year for the last 3 years. And I had some incredible discoveries there. I met some incredible people. I learned a new language. Por ejemplo, ahora puedo hablar contigo en español.
Rewrite the stars. Mm-hmm. How interesting.
Yeah, I love this song.
Yeah, if we can do that. Okay, Ahmed Asadi, beautiful evening to you. Thank you for calling. And of course we have here also Azza Musa, Juliette, Lali, Nancy, Ihab, Laila, Serti, Marwa Hussein, Yumna Yusuf, Zainab Al-Mansi. Thank you guys very much for your likes on Facebook page Radio Cairo 95.4 FM, and also on thank you Rodayna Yassin for your lovely wishes down there. You can always reach us on Facebook page Radio Cairo 95.4 FM, on our Facebook on our Sweet and Sour post for this evening. Haitham Said at the controls. This is Germine Moh Elwardany hosting you, and we have our guest Rania Youssef, life coach and owner of this interesting program Itkallimi, probably encouraging young ladies and ladies in general to spell it out, to conquer their worries, to come over them, to communicate
their emotional needs, to communicate their, first to know,
to feel happy,
to know and to be aware of their needs and desires and values, and then how to communicate them to whoever in their lives,
so that you feel that you're standing on solid grounds.
Yes, definitely.
Something you really need. Simon Singley, very interesting interview down there.
Yeah, he mentioned the 6 needs. One of the needs that we were just talking about by Tony Robbins. Yes, Tony Robbins is the one who actually talked about them, who mentioned these 6.
That sometimes you need some insecurity in your life.
Some challenge.
Yes. salt and pepper. Yeah. Ahmed Saadi actually commenting on the whole issue, he said satisfaction. Like he believes that when people do not look at each other's lives, at what other people have, at this, this type of feeling, they would feel happy. Ahmed, sometimes it works, but I don't think this is the main problem of feeling unhappy. I don't think so. Sometimes you don't really care for what other people do or have, but you feel void because you are not fulfilling your own the 6 needs, as you said. So
I don't know, I might think that sometimes we do unconsciously compare ourselves to others. Can you tell me if we say, for example, that something
just
is
to encourage
missing,
yourself to do something better, but hopefully not to envy others. Hopefully not.
Hopefully, yes.
But you're right, because sometimes you feel, oh my gosh, I didn't do something regarding my studies, regarding my improving whatever. I should do that. It's like it's something that is encouraging you to do better. But it's not that bad feeling of envying other people. Like, definitely, see what they have. They shouldn't have this. Actually, they are not,
So what's the criteria then? And if we say that there is something is missing in our lives, how do people who say that there is something is missing in their lives, what's the criteria they depend on? Is it the family, the friends, or the system, or the community?
As you remember when we heard at the beginning, some people said having fun.
Here in the very first clip we watched, these people were comparing themselves to themselves in the past.
Yeah.
However, but there are some times when people do compare themselves to other, and they look, okay, she or he has something that I don't have, and again. This is actually a fatal mistake. Actually, if really people, it's the source of misery. Comparing it, as you mentioned, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be our criteria upon which we decide that there is something is missing in our lives or not. Because we're not them. We're totally different from them. We have the different needs, and we have different values from them. And as you mentioned, you said this at the beginning. What is really important for me could never be important to me, and that's why we're different. Comparing ourselves to others is one of the fatal mistakes.
Definitely.
And as you mentioned, it might not be what we talk about today, but again, we need to draw people's attention, or the listeners' attention.
It's not that.
It's not the case. If this is what really makes you feel the void, or feel that there is something is missing in your life, you need to question yourself. You need to question what do you want in life?
Yes. I agree with you. I think something else, from what you said right now, you said that sometimes you really have to think of what you want to do in your life, but for some people, especially married people, for the wife or the husband, sometimes after marriage, having this big responsibility in life, having a partner, you're not free always to make decisions, fatal decisions, especially in your life. You're always having someone else to consider, other people like children, or other things to think about before taking any serious decision. So sometimes that is suffocating. That is sort of I wouldn't say teasing people in their lives. As we have actually a couple of movies that were tackling this problem. Lots of movies, not a couple of movies actually.
Are we gonna watch something now?
No, we're just gonna listen to this beautiful song from a movie that was made after an American one. This one is Anissa Mama, or Anissa Mommy, Yasmin Abdelaziz. That's only the song from the movie, with just the beginning of this conversation where she's trying to realize to to attain her dream and work in a big company, having a good salary, and at the very she starts to feel that she's very important. She can do something in her career, for her career and everything, and all of a sudden he just bombarded her with your responsibilities, the kids, the house, me, and everything. Like, he's not giving her a chance to feel important for what she wants to do, other than her basic responsibilities, of course. So here is, I think, something that lots of people face, either a husband or a wife. It goes as well for the husband when he wants to do something, but He can't because
he has responsibilities.
And that's, you know, that's the same movie. The same movie, Family Man.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Okay.
It's just a mirror of that film, but here in the Egyptian one, it's the lady. The mom, and the other one, it's the dad. It's the same situation, you see. So let's listen to this beautiful song, and I think it's وائل جسار لو نهدى حبة. It's a beautiful song, but let's listen once again to it. And this conversation at the beginning of the song, which really reflects what I was mentioning right now, and then we come back and comment on that.
Yeah. Looking forward.
لا لا عامله لك مفاجأة. وانا كمان. وما دهنك. لقيت شغل. مراتك هتشتغل في اكبر شركة اعلانات في مصر. مش هتصدق المرتب كام. ده غير العمولات. انا هتجنن. انا خلاص حاسه ان انا لقيت نفسي. ومدارس ولادنا ومذاكرتهم وتدريب عمر. وانا واسر وملك.
ما سمعتكش يعني بتجيب سيرتي في كل دول. خالد انا خلاص مضيت معاهم.
مضيتي؟ طب اساليني ليه بقى؟
عشان نفكر مع بعض.
لا مع بعض ليه؟ انا تمام هسيب الشغل واقعد في البيت بالعيال. هو بيجيب لي كام يعني؟ مش انت بتصرف علينا؟
انت بتتريق عليا؟
استغفر الله العظيم. انا اقدر اتريق على مراتي اللي عياني؟
دي مش طريقه دي.
بتاعتي ولا بتاعتك؟
لا قلت يعني دوج. لا ده قلم.
اتفضل بقى يا استاذ عمر سمعني.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مامي دي الوحيده مش عارفه احلها.
يا ابني ما هي قدامك اهي. خد امسك كل وركز. ها قول. يا ربي. طب وبعدين؟ اللي انت بتسمعه ده؟
يا ماما ما تخلي واحد يوجع نفسه شويه.
Okay, so very beautiful song.
Yeah, and actually the
emotional
clips, the part of the movie was really interesting too.
The part actually it spelled it out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most married women, ladies, they feel quite consumed in their family responsibilities, their kids, their house, her husband and everything, and she doesn't actually give herself a place for herself, for her own self. And of course nobody would ever give her this space, as you can see from the conversation at the beginning.
Unless
he was mentioning everybody except for her.
Yeah.
And she told him, like, you did not mention me amongst all those
the most important things
people.
in his life. Yeah.
So what would you advise people or ladies to do, especially married ones?
Actually, unfortunately, we're programmed since we're young that there is a kind of path we have to go through. We go to school, and then after this we go to college, and then after college we look for a job, and then after having a job we get married, and then we have kids, and then we start this cycle and of taking care of our kids and working for the kids and working for the husband and doing everything for the kids in order to have them to let them have a better life than us. What are we doing here? Why are we going through the same path, and why don't each person, each one of them, each girl think of herself and think of what she wants in life different from this current path? Yes, okay, that's very good that we go through this path, but the most important thing is that each one of us is unique in a way. Each one of us has his own flavor. So how would and God has not created us haphazardly. Each one of us should have like something
a role, a reason,
something that would have a value to be added to the universe. What would make you different from anybody else? So that's why it's really important that each one, whether it's a guy or a girl, whether it's a husband or a wife, each one of them should know first, why am I here? They should ask themselves, what value would I add to the world? What's the difference between me and my colleague or my co-workers sitting next to me? How would I change? How would I add? Since they know that, or once they think about that, here comes the fulfillment. Here comes, I am unique. I am adding to the world.
You feel that you're valuable.
And I'm valuable.
Unfortunately, some Egyptian husbands would convince their wives that they have no value in life, or this is what exactly they want, that you have no value in life but to be a wife and to breed up kids and, to keep the family, to keep the house running. this is your only value in life. But if she
That's
tried,
amazing. That's a wonderful job. That's a wonderful job.
It's
a
not
sacred
enough.
job, actually. But definitely, if I am not fulfilled
it's
as
a
a
typical
human
job.
being
It's a
first,
typical job. Everybody does that.
If I'm not fulfilled as a human being first, I won't be enough. I won't be good as a mother.
Yes, I do believe so.
If I'm not fulfilled as a being, as a human being on my own, I'm having my own time. I'm having my own addition that I do for myself, that I do away from the family, away from my husband, away from my role as a mother. I don't say that this is actually a wonderful job. It's a sacred job, and whoever is really whoever tries hard to be that good mother and works on herself in order to bring up children or to bring up people who really add to the world too, that would be a wonderful
great.
family.
But if she's doing that, I mean, if she's working on that,
it's not only feeding.
But not all moms, do that.
It's not only
it just goes by
kids,
nature.
It's not only bringing money, and it's not only helping them or satisfying their physical needs. They do. Children do also have needs. They have emotional needs. They have mental needs. So in order to cater for that, you need to be fulfilled first. So how would we do that? Unless you work on yourself and you try to fulfill your basic needs yourself.
Unless you have a space for yourself.
Well, you have a space for yourself. Definitely.
And definitely do not wait for people to give you this space. You have to claim it.
Certainly.
Claim this space. This is mine, whether they like it or not. I'm sorry to say.
Actually,
because they will. No, but they will work very hard in order to encroach on this space.
They should support that, because smart husbands and intelligent husbands should do that, because they know if a happy wife, a happy life.
Exactly.
This goes the same. Yeah. If you really give her the time in order to do something for herself, she's gonna be happy and she's gonna please you.
Exactly. We'll be talking about husbands in a minute. Don't worry. So stay tuned always to 95.4 FM, and on we go with Sweet and Sour until 6:45. And our guest is Miss Rania Youssef, life coach, and we have Haitham Said at the controls. This is Germine Moh Elwardany hosting you. You can always reach us on 257-89407 and also on Facebook page Radio Cairo 95.4 FM. Okay, girls like you, Maroon 5, and on we go with Sweet and Sour until 6:45. Before we play another clip, but this time for husbands, let's first maybe finish talking about, you said perception.
Yeah, it's the idea of, again, when something is missing in our lives, what do we focus on? Because actually it's not heaven. It's not paradise. We're not in heaven yet.
Definitely.
We're not in heaven yet, and we're still on earth. But there will always.
But we make our own heaven, don't you think so? On earth.
by focusing on what we were blessed with. Yes, by just again looking at the blessings that we are endowed with, and not say ignoring, and trying to, in a way, zoom out from the things that we cannot control. Zoom out from the things that we have no hands in creating, and at least try to replace it or change it or find an alternative for it.
But Rania, you know what? It's easy to say you can do that, but sometimes when you replace it and you do this zooming in and zooming out, you're not happy. The problem is the genuine feeling of happiness, of fulfillment. You cannot convince yourself, you cannot deceive yourself and say, I should be happy. When I do that, I should be happy.
Definitely, you won't be able to
you cannot
to
do that.
Yourself.
It's a spontaneous feeling.
It's your choice again, whether you're going to choose between happiness or meaningfulness. Because sometimes we are tested or examined in a way that we don't control. Again, God puts you in a situation that you don't want to. What would you do? Would you keep focusing on this situation? Would you keep lamenting your life and lamenting your luck? And I'm not that person. I'm not that. For example, what would you do? Would you keep having a miserable life because this is missing, or just let this away or keep this away for some time and let me handle it in a way so that I can be happy, so that I can learn how to deal with it. And here you're going to be inspiring. And at that time, at that exact time, when you really handle this kind of whatever is missing in your life, and you try to handle it in a way,
when
try
you
to
manage
live with it, when you conquer your feelings of that there is something is missing, and you accept this, and once you accept it and you try to handle it, you're going to be inspiring.
You're going to be happy.
You're going to be happy because
you will be happy that you managed to do that.
And let's say, for example, I would say a married woman who doesn't have kids, this would be terrible. For some women, this would be something that is they wanted to have, they would love to have children.
They
definitely would
it.
miss the idea of motherhood. I'd love to be mother. What if it didn't happen?
Yeah, but she can still practice this feeling of motherlyhood with
any other,
with other children, with pets, with everything. Yeah,
so
even with her own husband, just feeling passionate, giving. This is how mothers feel.
This is the value behind it.
Exactly.
This is the value behind it, and it's as long as it's fulfilled, as long as it's there. Okay. No problems and no misery.
Right, you are.
No misery.
Okay, so let me see now. Yeah, we can now play this interesting scene. I really love this scene. Very expressive of a man who became a husband, and of course, after all the responsibilities in life, he feels that sometimes he is, I would say, his hands are tied. He cannot spread his wings anymore. He cannot have his ambition achieved or realized in life. He feels that he's deprived even from dreaming. Lots of things sometimes do happen. So let's listen to this scene and then come back to comment. So this is a scene from The Family Man, Nicolas Cage. And as we said, it's the original movie that الأنسة ماما was made after. So here is The Family Man and this scene, the store scene. Okay, very expressive scene. You feel sorry for the guy, but at the same time, if you follow the sound of reason, he cannot do that, like to buy a $2,000 suit just because he feels good in it. I know how he feels. He should feel very good in it. But I mean, as she said, like they would have to sacrifice lots of things. She said basically the fund for their children's college, which something like the saving out of their saving and everything. So how do you feel, or how do you see this situation? Like whether it's the wife or the husband?
It's a matter of it's a matter of priorities again. So what do you prioritize in life? So before they get married, definitely they should have known that these are the consequences of getting a wife or having kids and so on. So and now they decided to build this family, and can they see, or whoever chose to have this path or to go through this path, can they see the value in it? Can they see how much they are adding to the lives of their children, to the life of his wife? So if you can't see the value, that's something that you need to highlight.
Problem.
That you need to highlight.
Yes.
You need to highlight this because yes, you did sacrifice things.
But you're building up something more important.
Sorry?
That's what I mean. They sacrifice something, but they build up something more important.
If they can't
something
see this,
more valuable,
let's say. If we're let's say let us compare this again to the wife, in order not to say that we're biased. So we're gonna be objective.
We play both, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's again the same to the wife again. So then the mother, yes, she has her own life as a mother, and this is a sacred job. It's a wonderful job again, and it's very valuable, and she is adding a lot by being a mother. But at the same time, the husband and the wife on their own as human beings they need to know what is fulfilling, or what is this thing that is done only for me, not for my family and for others.
You know Rania, like for example, if the wife used to have a hobby or something, a talent before she gets married, that would be a shame on her husband first if she stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So now it's sometimes it's because of herself, like she's not motivated enough to do lots of things in her life. Maybe time management, maybe lots of responsibilities, whatever you call it. Sometimes it's the husband, sometimes it's she herself, that she's not quite able to manage so many things in her life. Maybe she's a mono job person.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's the husband who's like preventing her from having a space for herself, that would be a shame on him. Both same goes with the wife. Like if the husband used to have a certain hobby before marriage, and she's bombarding him with lots of house requirements and responsibilities, not giving him at least like a couple of hours a week to do whatever he loves or what he's really into, whatever it is. Do not judge people. Whatever he is into or she is into, do not criticize people. Like, do not tell her that this is quite trivial. Why do you spend a couple of hours doing that? This is nonsense. Please, what is nonsense for you is
Could
maybe
be very
heaven for her.
important, yeah.
So do not, and actually I'm advising every wife, do not listen. Do whatever you love. Do not listen. Do not listen to people's judgment. If it's really like this is your heaven to do this for a couple of hours, do it. Do it. Enjoy it. And keep on loving it.
Yeah.
Same with the husband, of course.
I would say that I see marriage as a partnership, and
it should be.
And nowadays, life is really difficult. So both the husband and the wife, they work in order to cater for children's needs and for requirements and expenses and so on. So as long as it's partnership, both of them should have their own times, and both of them should have equal responsibilities, so that they give room to this little time that can each have for themselves.
Definitely. It's a human right, let's say. But let me just here once again make a certain limitation to it, because for some husbands it's not only like a couple of hours a week or something. Like they do have it like a norm, like every day he just has lunch with the family and then disappeared until late in the middle of the night or at midnight he comes back home. I mean, it's not the norm that you always have time for yourself alone, being completely detached from your family, your children, your wife. This is not also what we're talking about. Do not tell me that I am gonna do that because that makes me feel happy. No, you have to keep the balance. You feel happy the way you want for just like once a week, or make it twice a week. It depends on your life with your family. But I mean, the other days you really have to be involved in your family life with your friends. You should know everything about your kids. You have to drop your kids to the club for like their training, stay with them, watch them growing in front of your own eyes, study with them sometimes if you can, talk with your wife, go out with your wife, do some shopping, do the grocery, whatever you want, visits like family visits, friends. I mean, try to be involved in life. That would hopefully make you happy as well.
Definitely.
Both I mean, wives and husbands.
Certainly this is the case. Or actually I have an issue with this husband who usually considers himself as a money-making machine. So if this is your job as a father, as a husband, I'm sorry.
This is not a role actually to play.
I'm sorry. Because nowadays many wives can do so. They can bring money and they can afford.
That's unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because some people would depend on that, making it a requirement, which is of course like a sort of an imbalance in life. It shouldn't be the case, definitely. Music, and we'll be back. Stay tuned. We still have one clip to play for you before we go. So on we go with the Sweet and Sour until 6:45 this evening. You can always reach us on 257894007 and also on Facebook page Radio Cairo 95.4 FM. And what is it? Let me see. We have here a comment from Asma Abdu. Really big thanks for you introducing such a fabulous, attractive show. Thank you, Asma, very much. And why don't you call us? Share your opinion if you wish. Tell us what you're missing in your own life and how you deal with it, how you come over it. We'll be more than happy to listen to that. And thank you, Rodina, as well, for your nice and supportive comment. And Lamia, Hissam, thank you guys as well, amongst, of course, other people that we've already mentioned their names. So on we go, more music, and we'll be back. Lady Gaga again, and I'll never love again. Can you promise you would do that?
I can't.
Nobody can ever make this statement. You never know. Okay, so coming up here is a very interesting talk or interview by someone called Gopal Das. I think he's basically Indian or something, and he's talking about something called the missing skill syndrome.
Okay.
So something that has roots, you know. So and he's talking here about if you feel you are missing something, what is it? What is this feeling in the first place, and how you can deal with it? So let's listen to this one and come back to comment. You're tuned to Sweet and Sour. On we go until 6:45 for just about 15 minutes from now. Sound engineer Haitham El Sayed. This is Germine Moh Elwardany hosting you, and we have with us this evening Miss Rania Youssef, life coach, and let's listen to this interview.
The tooth when you are young, and the only thing that your tongue keeps doing is to go to the one that's missing. The missing tooth syndrome. You have a plate with tasty preps, servers coming in with seconds and reps, and the only thing that you see on your plate is the prep that all have, but for you is missing. The missing prep syndrome. You walk into a room with beautiful tiles, lovely people, and radiant smiles, and the only thing your eyes keep doing is to stare at the spot where that one tile is missing. The missing tile syndrome. You're great at math and great at play. As you sing your song, people sway. Yet when you see someone at school doing something that you can't, the only thing that your mind shows you is the skill that you are missing. The missing skill syndrome. Missing, missing, missing. How long will you allow your mind to keep messing, ruining your happiness and your abundant growth, a prospect that seems so promising? Keep all the foul games of your mind at the bay and train your mind to look at who you are and what you can do, what you have and what's in store for you. And soon you'll find yourself to be mindful and grateful, blissful and joyful. And the only thing that you'll now start to see is the pain that's missing.
Okay,
Wow,
welcome back.
that's
Yeah,
nice,
wow,
yeah.
yeah. I think he mentioned so many points that you've already talked about. But the interesting thing here is that he's calling this a syndrome. It's like something.
Yes, you need to.
Yeah. Yes.
To hand, you need to cure yourself.
To treat,
off.
and you need to treat.
It's the idea of being mindful again, being present and focusing on what you already have, the blessings you already have, and just trying to accept that there will always be a missing part. There will always be something that is.
But probably do not
there.
focus on it.
Yeah,
this is what you
not
want to say.
focus.
Yes.
Yeah, not to focus on it. Again, not to zoom in on it. Try to zoom out. Yes, I know. Thank you very much. I try to handle it. I'll try to replace it. I'll try to see the value or the need behind it and try to fulfill it in a different way. It doesn't have to be that way.
And always cherish the blessings and the good things that you can really enjoy. Do not spoil your feeling of enjoyment with what you might have in your life. Exactly.
And actually, this would reminded me of the idea of perfection again, and the idea of criteria again, upon which we decide what is missing and what is not. Ask
you know,
yourself,
Rania, the problem is sometimes for some people attaining perfection is happiness for them.
You know what?
Like you know what, like for example, when I have lots of things to do, lots of chores and lots of you know, like lots of things I have to do on a certain day, when I try hard and I really fight so much in order to make everything perfect, by the end of it, even though you're quite tired, you're burnt out and everything, but you really feel satisfied and happy. Even if you're dropping by the end of the day, but you feel happy, you feel satisfied.
You did all what you can do.
Because this is what you want, as you said at the beginning. Maybe what I want is different from what somebody else wants. Maybe my sense of happiness is different from somebody else. Happiness for me is different from happiness for somebody else. So it's very important that you realize what makes you happy. You try hard to
and you realize what do you want from life. What are your values and what are your needs, and what are the most important things in your life that you would never feel happy unless you have them. Since you know that, you will know how to go for them and have them fulfilled in a way or another. So what do you want? I always ask yourself, what do I want?
Right, you are.
What do I want?
Because people are lost sometimes. Most of people are lost, by the way. Like, you feel that you're driven by responsibilities, by duties, by what you should do, without thinking whether what you should do is actually what you want to do.
What I want to do. It's not what my parents want to do. It's not what my family wants. It's not what my sisters or my co-workers or my boss or my manager. So forget about all those people around you who require a lot of things from you. Just pause for a second. Pause, be mindful, be present, and ask yourself, what do I want?
I don't know why that brought up something in my mind. Like, some people just live life without wanting to do anything. If you ask them what makes you happy, they would say doing nothing. If you ask them what is your aspiration in life, nothing. What are you planning to do next year? Oh, nothing.
I don't know. Comfort is good.
No, I pity them. No.
Comfort is good, and
they don't have a life this way.
As long as this is what they want, and it makes them happy.
I don't know if this is real happiness or not. I'm not sure.
For them, it might
even
be
for them. Have they tried something else? Have they tried something else? You never know. Maybe they think that they are happy, but I mean, because they haven't tried anything else. They haven't tried having a plan in their life, achieving this plan.
Could be
happier.
Experiencing and exploring actually is one of the most important things that would bring uncertainty.
Simon said, explore.
This is what he
explore.
Get into new things, learn new things, go through different adventures, travel, meet new people. So this will actually
try new things, explore yourself.
Would let you know more about yourself. Because as long as you're doing the same thing every day, work, whatever, family, home, and so
monotony,
and this kind of routine that you have every day, you won't able to explore areas new that you haven't tackled before. So whenever you go through different experiences, going through different adventures, this will tell you more about yourself. And the more you know about yourself, and we'll keep knowing about ourselves till we die, by the way.
You know,
and you will never reach this point where I know myself. No, you will never know yourself as long as you're living. This is my point of view. I'm not sure, but this is how I know. You will keep exploring yourself as long as the way you're exploring others, it's also the way you're exploring yourself, and definitely we change through time by going through different experiences.
I would say we develop.
Going through these experiences and going through these adventures would actually add to us and it will make us grow in a way or another. And it's let's have fun playing. God has explained dunya as a game. Well, let's have fun playing it. Let's have fun going through the unknown. I know it's difficult.
Some surprises.
I know it's difficult. I'm telling this to myself first before telling it to everyone. Yes, it's this unknown and this uncertainty. It's difficult. Yes, we always it's our enemy. Ignorance is our enemy. People don't like to have this kind of things that they don't know about. However, if some things in life that we really cannot know. We cannot foresee the future. We cannot foretell what's coming, what's going to happen next in our lives. Let's imagine that we're writing a story. Let's imagine that we're drawing a picture for our life. We don't know how it's going to come up at the end. And actually, maybe we won't be
and
able
that's the surprise.
And that's the surprise we're going to see before we die, I guess.
Yes.
So, let's enjoy drawing it, and let's enjoy writing our own stories, overcoming the challenges.
It's the process that what makes you happy, not necessarily
not the outcome.
The end,
The Alchemist and Paulo Coelho.
Yes.
So
exactly.
It's the journey. It's the journey.
Exactly. So music.
So happy journeys.
Hopefully, ya Rabb, inshallah. So hopefully that everybody might know what makes him or her happy and can attain this happiness in life, because this is when you will make everybody around you feel happy, fulfilled, satisfied as well. Remember that. What about music before we come back to wind up? Can't find something more expressive than Sia and Sing for My Life. So thank you everybody out there for tuning in, and thanks a lot for those who sent us on Facebook page Radio Cairo 95.4 FM on our Sweet and Sour post for this evening. Rania, Yusuf, thank you a lot for joining us this evening, and I really hope that you can join us again in the near future.
Thank you for giving
inshallah.
me the chance to be part of this. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful experience.
And I really hope you all the best of luck with your page, of course, and your program Itkallimi. Hopefully that you hit more success.
Thank you, my
help
dear.
more people, support more ladies as much as you can, inshallah. And Haitham said at the controls, thank you very much for a wonderful job. This is Germine Moh Elwardany wishing you a lovely Tuesday evening.